Let me bring up the thing so you can see it. There you go.
You got the audios going?
Yeah, audio's going.
Hey guys, welcome to the 6th edition of Gridiron Greats Madden CFM podcast. As always, you got your host, MacDub, aka the Chargers, and I am joined by my trusty co-host, Bryan, aka the Broncos. Say hello, Bryan.
Hey guys, it's my fault. I forgot the audio again.
Yep. So, this is the second take. We did a little dry run rehearsal, and we worked out all the kinks. So we're good to go. So for today's agenda, we'll try to keep it short and sweet and to the point. We'll just keep, moving on with kind of what we've been talking about, especially in Week 15. We're going to really hit on the playoff push. What teams still have a chance? What divisions are kind of locked up already? Which ones aren't? See who's still in the running for some wild card teams, and then probably go over the awesome job that Bryan did with the first edition of the Gridiron Greats magazine. And then that'll probably be it for it. Maybe talk about some key matchups. But other than that, let's go ahead and get started. Bryan, what division would you like to begin with?
Let's talk about the shitty one, the AFC North.
AFC North, yes. So as of right now, the top two teams are the Steelers and Ravens, both at 5-9. Yes, you heard that correct. They already have 9 losses. So that mathematically makes them not eligible to have a winning season already. And then you've got the Browns at 4-10 and the Bengals at 4-9. So the Bengals is the only team that still has to play in Week 15. But yeah, Bryan, we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but it's going to be 6-10 probably at best, winning the division.
Yep.
And possibly, as you mentioned, possibly 5-11 winning a division.
Yeah, it sounds like a wonderful fucking time for that division.
Really shouldn't be allowed.
Quite honestly, it's pretty sad for the fact that if I'm in their shoes and I win the division, I'm sad. Because you could have had a potentially good draft pick, but no, you win the fucking division.
Yeah, but hey, here's another thing I will say. Especially, I will go ahead and say that it's probably. I didn't want to pick a winner. I would say it's probably going to be between the Steelers and the Ravens.
Probably, sure as fucking Kevin.
Yeah, I don't think so. With that as well. But both the Steelers and the Ravens, they could win a playoff game if probably not 2, depending on who they'd have to play. But that's the thing that if they win a playoff game, then they're going to probably play you. I mean, you've all, I guess, you and Tripp still could switch spots for the 1 and 2 spot, but you could possibly see the winner of this division in the.
I don't think they're gonna make divisional round. I don't think they're gonna make it. I don't have faith in them.
Yeah, you never know. I don't know. I think both these. There's still some good players on this.
I got faith in our 2 wild card leaders right now.
We'll see. But yeah, so this is a bad division. There's just no other way to put it. But somebody's got to win it. That's the thing. It's as hard as you guys are trying to not.
Yeah, you guys are all Team Tank, aren't you?
Team Tank, that's not working out. Moving on, we'll go to the AFC South. Another division that's still up for grabs. It's a 2-team race. We got the Jaguars, who are kind of surging here at the end at 7-6. And the Texans, sorry, chuckling at what Todd's saying in the chat right now. But
yeah, I'm not going to acknowledge his bitch ass.
Kind of falling apart at 6-7. So it looks like the Jaguars are in the driver's seat for that.
Yep. Like you said, Jaguars, I think 3 in a row wins. Texans, I feel like it feels like they have 3 in a row losses. So
yeah. Both teams are trending in opposite directions. So it kind of looks like the Jaguars might go ahead and pull that out.
Even that division technically could have a losing record too.
They could, yeah. Yep.
So we'll see. This could be very historic.
Yep. The AFC East. You got the Trip, who has already locked up a playoff spot. I guess technically hasn't locked up the division yet. He's 12-2.
Yep.
I think he basically did with this win this week. But then you got the Patriots at 9-4. So that's your first wild card team right there.
And I think they've locked that up as well.
Yeah, they have. The Dolphins were in it up until the last few weeks here, where they've lost 3 in a row and they're 6-8. So they're done. So, which is good for me. That's one team that I was kind of keeping an eye on because they did get an early regular season victory over me. But I just got my 9th win of the year right there, so I no longer have to worry about them. And then that leaves us to the AFC West.
You got your 9th win? I thought you only had 8.
Oh man, I did. Sorry, I am counting at least Todd with a 9th win.
Oh, well, that's pretty factual. I mean, all right.
I think it would be safe to say, but then Todd has already told me that he's going to be out of town that week, and I told him, he made a comment, "Oh, you're not going to play this." No, I told him straight up that if me getting a win solidifies the playoff spot, I'm not even going to check my chances. Computer.
Yeah, you basically guaranteed a 9-7 record at worst.
Plus, the Chiefs' CPU is much tougher than Todd, so I'm not even gonna fuck around with that.
That is facts. Facts right there, guys.
But AFC West, it doesn't have it officially here yet, but you've got that division locked up. The best I can do is 10-6, and you beat me twice. You just absolutely kicked my ass last week when we played, or 2 weeks ago, I guess it was. It wasn't even a game. Yeah, so you've got the division locked up. If Trip somehow loses another game and you win out, you will lock up the 1 seed, which would be pretty nice for you.
Yeah, I'd be pretty ecstatic about that. Lonely Broncos. Didn't think I would do this well.
No, I would just say that not to toot your horn too big, but you've been playing very well.
Don't worry, it'll change in the playoffs. It'll change in the playoffs. Don't worry.
I mean, we did that live commentary when you played the Bills, and that was impressive. And then it just steamrolled me. You took care of the Texans pretty easily, but yeah, enough positive shit about you. Let's go on to the NFC North.
God, you just buttering me up.
NFC North, you got the Bears at 11-2. They were kind of smacked around a bit by the Cowboys recently.
Yep.
Still sitting at 11-2. I guess haven't locked anything up officially with the Packers sitting at 9-4. So we'll see what happens there. I do think the Bears will still probably go ahead and win the division.
Interesting fact about that Bears-Cowboys game, by the way.
Yeah, something I'm unaware of.
Yeah, this is I was I was doing my preparations for that magazine and everything. Khalil Mack, would you like to guess how many sacks he got that game?
I'm gonna go with 0.
He did get 0. In fact, not a single Bears player got a sack.
Oh, so it can't happen.
Yeah, it was
nice.
Pretty incredible for the stats wise.
Yeah. Well, it's probably correlated to why it wasn't even a very good game, right?
No, it was out of hand.
Gotcha. So, all right, but then the Packers are still hanging around. They're definitely still in the wild card hunt at 9-4.
In fact, they have the last wild card spot currently.
Okay. NFC South. The Falcons are probably definitely going to win this. I say probably definitely. That doesn't make any sense.
I hope they win it with an 8-8.
They might, because you look at the Panthers. They have lost 7 in a row now.
So they were 5-1.
Yes, they were 5-1.
And that one loss was the Cobb.
Yes.
And then, oh man.
Yep.
I had a lot of faith in these Panthers, especially since Todd wasn't using them. Yeah. But it almost feels Todd-esque.
It kind of does, especially the 7 in a row.
Yeah. That's rough.
Moving on to one of the more competitive divisions, the NFC East. You got the Cowboys sitting at 11-2, but right behind them are the Eagles and the Redskins.
Yep.
Eagles at 9-4, and the Redskins at 9-4.
It's crazy. There's a strong chance that we're gonna have. I'm gonna just say we'll go with what 10-6. We'll say that we'll have probably 2 teams, maybe 3 teams who have very good usual records. Like that usually gets you in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they won't make the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. Because, we see these 2 teams right here battling out, but not only that, but then you got the NFC West, to where Cobb actually slipped up and lost 2 very close games in a row.
Yep, and both games very similar in the score line.
Yeah, very low scoring games.
Yep. So if you can keep Cobb from scoring, you might win.
So, but with a 12-2 record, they probably have that division locked up. And then it's the 49ers who are playing very well as of late, and actually one of the teams that beat Cobb.
Yep.
And then you got 9-4 Warren, which, life happens. He was moving. I think he got two losses because he was out of town, which probably hurt him. And so who knows what's going to happen with the NFC wildcard, because you got that's 2 teams right there with only 4 losses, 2 teams in the NFC East with only 4 losses, and then the Packers. So that's 5 teams right there, still at least 9-4.
The Rams are the only ones on the bubble list here that are really out.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Everyone else, they're in, but they're not in.
Yeah, it's crazy. I assume some of the NFC West teams play each other. I know Warren still has to play Cobb all the time. And I'm assuming the NFC East guys still play each other, so they'll probably knock each other out.
In fact, the Eagles play the Redskins this week.
Okay, so that's a big game.
In my opinion, that's game of the week.
Yeah, for sure. So, Mr. Asshole Eagles, they're saying you were ignoring the podcast, which is fine.
Norway, we don't like you anyway.
Yeah,
fucker.
Mr. 79-7. Yeah. Anyway, so so that's kind of how the divisions are breaking down right now in the wild card. Really difficult to, honestly, almost impossible to predict. At least in the NFC, who's coming out. I think the AFC is pretty solidified. With I guess if I go ahead and take care of business next week. I guess I should say I think myself and the Patriots have kind of already locked up the wild cards.
Yep.
I think even a 9-7 record will do that for me. Because I was thinking the Jaguars did just beat me the other week, but so I guess if there's somehow that they end up at 9-7, and so do the Texans. I'm not really sure. Either way, I just need the Jaguars division if he's going to have the same record as me.
Well, if the Texans end up at 9-7, that means they've won their last 3 games. Yeah. And if they do that, that means they're going to have a better divisional record than the Jaguars. I don't know how they did head-to-head.
I think they split. So, yeah, I definitely just whatever. I guess
you need the Jaguars to – if it's going to be 9-7, you need the Jaguars to win the division.
But I also just need to take care of business against Widow next week. It's coming.
Yeah, don't pull a Todd and lose the Widow.
Yeah. But, I mean, in the NFC, you got like next week, or I guess we can go ahead and talk about some key matches that need to be played. We mentioned the Eagles and the Redskins, so that's a big game. Just let's not overlook you and Todd. That'll be a good game.
Yep. I mean, I hope it's a good game for me. I hope Todd gets an ass whooping again, but we'll see. You never know. He does have his boy Tyreek back. We'll see how that goes.
Yep.
We got Seahawks versus Panthers. Obviously, Warren needs this game to get back in the hunt.
He does, and the Panthers do too, to somehow stay alive.
Yep. If they lose, it's basically over for them.
Yeah. I guess Puffy against the Patriots needs to win to stay alive to get that 5th win.
Yep. See ya, Puffy. That ain't happening.
And then obviously another huge one is the Bears Packers.
Yep. Another big game, but this is more for draft purposes, is this game, the Buccaneers versus Lions.
Ooh, and they're brothers.
Oh, they are? Okay.
They are, yes. Yes, the Lions is Mo's little brother.
Well, we'll find out who's the better of the two then, I guess, this week.
We will, yeah. So yeah, and then, I mean, Rams, Cowboys, I guess the Rams could probably still get in there if they went out. But
nah, it's very unlikely. 10-6, I don't think is going to get the job done.
Yeah, probably not. You would need all those 9-4 teams to still somehow lose.
And then you got these two guys who apparently tried to play twice and have failed multiple times now, I guess.
Ooh, fuck them.
So yeah, got some good matchups this week.
Yeah.
You want me to bring up Week 16 or move on?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and pull up Week 16 because they're all probably. I mean, most of the time those are usually more of your division games, but not necessarily always the case.
Well, you got Widow.
I do.
We got another important game for the Redskins there if they want to try to sneak in the playoffs, especially if they win this week. I mean, you got an important game for the Steelers.
This Bills-Patriots game is important for seeding purposes.
It's important for me, yes. I'm hoping the Patriots could do it. I was hoping the Cowboys were going to do it for me, but they didn't.
No. Since you beat Tripp, I think he has just done nothing but smack people around. So
I awakened a monster. Not good.
Yeah.
Rams, 49ers. Rams could play spoiler there.
Yep. Jaguars and Falcons, both those guys need to...
They both need that win. So, yeah, that's a big one. Ravens, Browns. This is big. Yep. For their shitty division.
Cardinals and Seahawks.
That's game of the week for Week 16 right there.
Cowboys, Eagles.
Yep, which could, in theory, if the Eagles lose this week, will knock them out if they lose to the Cowboys.
They should lose this week, but I thought they would have lost.
But little fun fact about these two is last time they played, Eagles was all up in my DMs.
That's true. And he's all up in this group chat saying something don't change, which I don't even know what that means. But okay.
Whatever.
Todd and the Bears.
I want to watch that game just for the giggles I will have from it.
All right. And then last week of the year, Steelers.
Ooh, this could be the division right there.
Well, let's see. Maybe somebody will get that 6th. Well, somebody's going to have to get win number 6, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think anyone wins it without 6 wins.
I guess they could tie. So.
I mean, technically, yes, they could win. Someone could win it at 5-11, but God, I hope not.
Well, I think both these teams have 5 wins. So somebody's got to win 6 there, unless they tie.
Let's see. Oh, this could be hard for the Redskins. We'll see. Cowboys versus Redskins. That could knock the Redskins out.
Yep.
Packers versus Lions. Packers need that as well. They currently have the last wild card spot. Truthfully, we ignored their other matchups. Our bad.
The very last game. 49ers Seahawks. That's the game of the week right there.
Yep. Because that'll be huge implications as well.
Should be, yep. So,
a
lot of good...
Oh, and then you get to play Todd. That's always fun.
But he's already let me know he's going to be in it.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. He's ducking you.
It's the 1 week of the year he doesn't play video.
Right. Just Packers, since we did ignore them, they also play the Vikings Week 16.
They do, yes.
And on Week 15, they play the... Where the fuck are you? Oh, the Bears. Ooh, not good for them. So, yeah, NFC wildcard is definitely going to be rough.
Yeah. Yeah, you could realistically you could have 2 12-4 teams.
Yep.
So yeah, by the time if we keep up with our normal schedule of Monday's podcast, we will be in week 17. So
Hopefully, we'll be further.
well, we'd have to have an early advance, right?
Well, week 16, we advance on Thursday to week 16.
Oh, that's right. We'll be in week 17 on Saturday. Then Saturday's advance.
Yeah, and then we should be
we should be in the playoffs.
Next podcast, playoff edition. Playoffs.
Nice. All right, Brian. Do you want to go ahead and pull up the magazine here?
Yeah, I guess I could do that. Yeah, I could do that. Well, there it is, boys. Nope, I don't want that as my default use thing. Thank you. Here's the nice little cover. It's first issue, number 1 right there. This is the Gridiron Greats official magazine, guys. So, Cleo Mack making the cover because he is the sack king. Also in here, we got the top 10 draft predictions. Don't mind that shitty photo I used, apparently. The sack king, man, you can read the article here. If you want to come back, you can pause it and read it. I'm not going to let it sit there. Just sit here for you to read. And then we got the NFL draft predictions. All right. So, top 10 NFL draft predictions. Gives the players, the teams I think will get the spot, and also who I think they might be taking. So, we'll see.
And that would be a really nice pick for me at number 2. The Chiefs.
Yep.
All that.
Thanks, Todd.
Yeah, thank you, Dad. Oh. All right. Well, Brian, is there anything else you'd like? Yeah.
I'm good. Are we getting a rant of the week?
Rant of the week. You know what? For some reason I have.
You have what? You cut
I
out.
have not thought about. Oh, my bad. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, a rant of the week. I have not thought about one. I should have. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm fucking up here.
My rant of the week is fucking Mac not having a rant of the week is bullshit.
Yeah, that is. I am unprepared, and that's usually not like me. I have lots of things to bitch about.
Just bitch about the Eagles.
Yeah, no, I guess I could. No. Oh, okay. I will. I do have something, right? This kind of, it's not necessarily doing with scheduling or whatever, but whatever you're complaining about, whatever issue you have to send the screenshot of your conversation with, when you're sending me a DM, because there's a few guys in particular that'll say one thing, and then I'll finally get them to send me the screenshot of their DMs, and what they said and what those screenshots show are kind of two different things. So
wow, that's crazy. Are you saying there's people trying to get cheap force wins?
Kind of to the point where you're either just not fully understanding, what you're saying or what you're reading, or you're just flat out lying. So, it is what it is. But I mean, minus the 2 Lions guys that we've had, we've had a really good first season. I mean, the NFL week 1 just finished, and we're going to be in the playoffs by the time week 2 starts. And I mean, we haven't lost anybody. I really don't think, for a minute there, I thought maybe there was 1 or 2 guys that were going to bounce out, but I mean, I don't think we have anybody even on the cusp of leaving, so, which is cool. I mean, honestly, like, I don't really care. There's guys in here that I just don't like, and they probably don't like me, and that's fine. I don't. You're probably not going to find 31 other guys who are going to like me. So
it's true.
But as long as you're active, you're following the rules, you're just not a complete douche. I mean, a complete one. Then I don't care. I mean, you got guys in here that'll bitch, oh, Madden's fucking me, or this person keeps disconnecting, his internet's trash, but then that same person also has like 5 disconnects, whatever, just play your games, schedule. If you don't want to talk in the chat, that's fine. If you do want to talk in the chat, that's fine. But anyway, pretty good season so far. Be pretty excited to see who's actually, going to make the playoffs, who's going to win. Because I'll say this, at this point, I honestly can't pick a for sure, this person's going to be in the Super Bowl. Like, I can't do it with Tripp anymore. I can't do it with Cobb, who I thought would. But, I mean, both those guys could easily still do it. Just, I think this season's really up for grabs. Who wants that $50 PSN card from Todd?
And who wants that 25 one for getting second?
Second place. I honestly just want one playoff win. That's all I want.
I really want to make the Super Bowl and just not care, because either way, Todd's paying me.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that'll do it for this week. Yeah. So, who knows? We'll definitely have another podcast, next Monday, but maybe we'll do it a little quicker. Maybe try to schedule something, especially maybe over the weekend. We can link up and talk about, obviously go over in depth on, what the possibilities of the different scenarios of who makes the playoffs, if he wins or if he loses, or.
You mean you don't want me to forget that it was Monday again?
Yeah, that's fine. I was just letting you go, and then I knew it was already too late by the time yesterday. I was like, podcast. It's fine though. Shit happens. I know you're all excited. Cowboys good. I'm sure you're happy too. The Eagles looked good too, though. Kind of.
I ain't worried about the Eagles.
We'll see. When do they play?
I no clue. I just go week by week.
You play Redskins this week, right?
Don't ask me. I haven't looked.
You do. You do. I know that because the Golick and Wingo show is in Washington on Friday. I guess this year they're going to like a different bar or something into a town on Friday for a game they're going to go watch. So I know they're going to be in Washington to watch the Cowboys game.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. All right. Guess that's my rant.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, that'll do it for us. Mac, he's Bryan, and we'll talk to you later.
Later, bitches.